Hello, good morning. Oh, good afternoon, actually. It's later afternoon. I'm usually good morning. So, sorry for me. Hey, everybody, just jumping in here today, going live. I used to go live a lot more when I first started going live, like in 2017, 2018. I really got into doing live videos. I'm not so sure now how effective the live videos are as they used to be. I know now you need to do reels and it gets really, really complicated. But, you know, by being complicated, it is intimidating, and intimidating is not getting me anything done. So, trying to overcome that, saying, "Oh, Instagram, and oh, Reels, and oh, Live. What do I do? What do I do?" You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do whatever. Okay. And like they keep changing the algorithms. So who cares? I mean, I don't have a huge marketing behind me, and I'm sure if I did, I'd have a lot more people who know me. But there's a lot of people out there that don't know me and don't understand what I do. So, a little bit about myself. I am Allison Solar. I am a kitchen and bath designer. And after I got done designing and feeling that I wanted to transition out of the retail end of it and work more business to business and educate designers happened probably around the time when I started going live when I was in 2016, 2017. And I was teaching at the New York Institute of Technology, the kitchen and bath design education, the design program for them. And I had all these programs together and I wanted to get more students. So I thought, what a great idea since we have this Facebook, now that Facebook was starting to become so popular, and the ability to do live videos and go live presentations and talk to my audience was something that I started to explore to bring my message of education out there. Because what I saw was that there is a disconnect. I'm an interior designer, specialize in kitchen and bath design. Solara Designs is my company. I have been Solara Designs for since 2020, 2022. Solara Kitchens, and then I changed it to Solara Designs. So I've been doing Solara Designs. I opened up my showroom in 2004. Prior to that, I was doing it without a showroom, 2002, but I was working for other people. So I learned a lot from working with the most I learned the most was with Home Depot and Home Expo Design Center. Home Depot back in the day, I don't know how they are today, but I don't ever see them in any NKBA meetings. But back in the day, in the 1995, 96, 97, they were very, very involved in teaching the kitchen designers in their store because a lot of the designers came from up within the ranks of Home Depot. You could have been working in the plumbing department or working in the kitchen department and not really been that much educated on kitchen design and bathroom design. So Home Depot took the time to give the some NKBA courses and things like that, and they would support you studying for NCIDQ and for the NKBA certificate programs. So there was a lot of education there. And when I went to the expo after I worked for Home Depot, then I left and worked for a private high-end company, and then, uh, I ended up back at Home Depot Expo, the Expo Design Center, and there it was another level of design and another level of education for the designer. So they really took the time and had implemented, um, standards for us to follow as designers to sell, and certain education that we had. And that education that we got from Home Depot and Expo was really, really priceless. And I still use the things that they taught me today. And what I learned over the years is what I really teach. So, having been an interior designer, I got involved in kitchen and bath design accidentally through Home Depot. Oh, walked in the door, saw a sign, kitchen designer wanted. I needed a job. I said, "Oh, come on, let me go. Um, check out this job." So anyway, I fell in love with kitchen design and ultimately then bathroom design. So, because a lot of kitchen designers don't do bathrooms. They'll only do kitchens. But I do both. I do both kitchen design and bathroom design. I don't do the other rooms. So, what happened was I belong to the Interior Design Society here on Long Island, and it's a national organization. I very highly recommend them. The Interior Design Society. Okay, .org. So like I said, they're a national organization. So I belong to a lot of these networking organizations for social reasons. I've made a lot of friends with them. I have a lot of acquaintances through the years. If you're afraid of networking or you're a little nervous, all you need to do is keep going. The more you show up, the more people see your face, the more people are going to know who you are. So I've developed over these 30 years of my career some very good friends in the interior design business, a lot of interior designers that don't specialize in kitchens and bathrooms, yet they get involved in those projects. So I have become known as the kitchen and bath specialist here in the Long Island metro market. I have people come and ask me things. They're like, "Ask Allison, what does she think? What does she want? Allison, I have a question," blah, blah, blah. So I saw some kitchens that a designer friend of mine had done, and the colors, the finishes, everything were so beautiful, but there was a problem with the layout, and it was a filler in the wrong spot. Now, the question is, whose fault is that? That filler went unnoticed and got set there, where to me, it stands out like a sore thumb, and if I point it out to you in the drawing, which I'll never do because I'll never, ever let this designer know that that's like that kitchen is the reason that tipped me over the edge. I just out of respect for her. But what I feel is that if you're an interior designer and you're going to get involved in kitchen design and bathroom design, and you're going to start picking out granite and marble and quartz, and you're going to start picking out plumbing fixtures and whatnot, you really need to know what you're talking about. Now, when it comes to kitchens and bathrooms, I know majority of the manufacturers. I know a majority of the product that's out there. I know a majority of how cabinets are finished, the door styles, the product, the this, that, and the other thing. My specialty is all things kitchen and bathroom. The other day I had a problem with a valve, and I said to somebody, "Yes," and I said, "Well, what's that Gianni? Who is that?" I said, "Well, that's similar to Altman's or to like a California faucet." And as I said it, I was like, you know what? I knew off the top of my head who is the top manufacturers like that. If you ask me about wallpaper, because later I was with designers, it was a networking event with the designers were there, and they pointed out wallpaper and they said, "Oh, this is paper from so and so and such and such." And I thought to myself, I have no clue about wallpaper. I know what wallpaper is. I know it's rated for certain rooms. I know there's vinyl. I know there's ways to put it up, and there's grass cloth, and there's all different kinds of things. But if I had to start going in and specifying wallpaper for somebody, I would be confused. I wouldn't know where to go look for it. I wouldn't know. I mean, I would probably know where to look for it and say, okay, Philip Jeffries, Robert Allen, these are like fabrics and stuff. Somebody's got to have somewhere to go for wallpaper. But I'd be scrounging, I'd be flabbering, I'd be, guessing. I'd have to call somebody. But when it comes to kitchen design and bathroom design and products and merchandise and manufacturers, I know what that they are for the most part. There's a lot of new brands of cabinetry coming on, but the way the cabinets are made and the way the cabinets are put together and the methods of construction are all the same across the board. Of low versus high, they're all using plywood and MDF and stuff like that. They're not using an unknown material to me. I know all the material. They will get new finishes and whatnot. But for the most part, I know. And that's the thing, is that I know what I'm talking about. And with that comes a sense of confidence. And I am confident because I know. I know that the light fixture does not belong over there. It belongs at 27 inches from the countertop edge, or the countertop edge on center. You measure out from the back wall, it's 27 inches on center, not from the edge of the light fixture to the back of the light fixture, but on center. It's a center line measurement. Now that I know, and you can't argue with me about that, because scientifically it makes more sense that that's where the light goes anyway, because it's then a little bit above your head in front of you. So the cone of light comes down more in front of you, and not you with the light on top of your head and the hot spot of the light over here on your head. You want the hot spot of the light by the countertop and not in front of your head, on top of your head. So what to do? Teach. Got involved in the teaching, and I discovered that I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I love teaching. And there's a real association with where to find kitchen and bathroom design education. And not for anything, we need kitchen and bath design education. And it doesn't have to be the NKBA, because I went through the NKBA books a few weeks ago, and they're monumental. They're huge. They're a huge study. It's full of information that maybe you might use 10% of what you learn in there. But you really don't need to know. I never learned the books from NKBA. I learned the guidelines, how to do a floor plan, and the rest of it you learn from design school and from working in the industry. So you should have a basic understanding of kitchen design and bathroom design if you're going to venture into that area of design. Now, same thing if you're going to start to do interior design. If I wanted to get involved with interior design, let's say I wanted to pivot my career and say, okay, I think I want to get more involved in the furniture and the fabrics and everything. I'd have to start learning from my friends. Well, who do I go to? Who's a good furniture manufacturer? Who has a good warranty? Who has good customer service? What am I looking for in a recliner? What am I looking for in a sofa? Do you have a suggestion for window treatments, of where I can go for window treatments? What do I do? What is it called? So I would be lost, although I'm an interior designer. So once you get me to the suppliers and to all the merchandise, and I figure it all out, I can create a space and create a room. But there's a lot of it that it's not just, oh, I picked out pretty fabric. Oh, I picked out a pretty sofa. Oh, look how nice the carpet goes. There's so much more to the business than meets the eye. And that's the same thing in kitchen and bathroom design. It's extremely technical. And the technical end of it is what you need to know. You need to understand these things. I'm sorry, people who say that, oh, yeah, I could do it. No, you need to be educated, because you know what will happen if you are not educated and you don't know what you're talking about, and you go and you want to pretend you know what you're talking about, and you think, yeah, I can fake it till I make it, to a certain degree, yeah. But if you really don't know the difference between marble, granite, quartzite, and quartz, and you go in and you start picking out a stone, and you go, well, I really want the quartz, and the sales rep or the fabricator goes, no, you don't want it. It could be because they can't cut it, right? I've said this all the time. They can't get the material. They can't cut the material. Their machines can't handle the material. Certain colors, you go through a few bits, grinders and cutting blades. They have to be replaced, and they're very expensive. Blades for machinery can be probably over $1,000, I would imagine. Some of the blades are huge, and they're diamond coated, and there's all kinds of CNC routing, and all these blades that have to remain sharp and in tune, and that you can't have shitty blades cutting beautiful material because you'll get all little chips in it. So there's a lot of deciding factors, not just the color that you want to pick, but where are you going to get it done, who's going to give it to you, who's going to cut it, who's going to have the best price. So knowing the product is really an upper hand, instead of saying, I don't know the product, can you help me? The thing with that is that you're leaving yourself up to the expertise of the person helping you. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but you're at their mercy. And I don't know about anybody of you, and I don't like to be at anybody else's mercy, and I don't really like anyone telling me what to do, and I don't believe anything anybody tells me. For the most part, I go into everything with a lot of skepticism. I guess that's life experiences. So knowing the technicals behind the product, knowing that if you want to undermount, like somebody put a thing up in one of the groups, and they said, oh, what's better, a top mount or an undermount tub? Not all tubs can be undermounted, and there's those are two different products, two different methods of installation. So what do you like better, undermounting it or top mounting it? Again, you got to know what you're looking for in the tub, So, and again, like I said, not all tubs can be undermounted. And when you undermount them, you bring the deck up even higher and the tub down even lower, because you're adding that inch and a quarter to the top of the tub. So you just got to know your product, got to know your stuff, got to have some kind of a lingo. So what I teach is the foundation, the minimum of what you should really know. That'll get you through designing kitchens and bathrooms, like not knowing, do you want, when someone says, you want a widespread faucet or a single or a standard? What do you mean? What's the difference? Well, widespread is 8 inches to 16 inches, and you can get different things, blah, blah, blah. You can curve it. You could do it straight, or 4 inches spread, mini spread is all one thing. It doesn't, the handles are close together. So what's thermostatic, what's pressure balance, what's a diverter, what's a volume control, things like that. The terminology, you really need to become familiar with them so that you sound educated when you're talking to other people and you in the trades, and you sound like you know what you're talking about to your client, right? So you can fudge it a little bit with your client, because they really have no idea what a top mount or under mount, what you're talking about. They might, because of the name, but they'll be like, well, what's the difference? So Whirlpool, air bath, soaker, chromotherapy, aromatherapy. It's up to us as designers to be up on product and know what's available in the industry. But the main thing is to get that foundation. So that's what I teach. I teach the foundation, the minimum of what you should know. Your minimum, like all the guidelines for bathroom design. I took it out to be the most common, the most important to use for bathroom design and for kitchen design, according to the guidelines of the National Kitchen and Bath Association. So, and I don't always agree with everything that NKBA says. And if not everyone has to take the test. Not everyone has to pass an exam, but you certainly should be able to design a kitchen and do a floor plan and do all that kind of stuff. So tomorrow I'm teaching, the class coming up is going to be about bathroom design guidelines. Last week we had the kitchen design guidelines, and it talked about the guidelines and then about some other things about the kitchen, not just the guidelines. And tomorrow we're going to do the same with the bathroom design guidelines. And then the week after that is Thanksgiving is next week. Yay. So the week after that, I'm not having any courses. But then after that, it's going to be the kitchen and bath design processes, which is going to be on December 4th. That's the processes. That's about like, how do I go about, what do you do when you're going to start a project? Okay, you got a project, kitchen project. Now what do I do? What do I do? What do I measure? What do I talk? What questions do I ask? Now I want, what do I take pictures of? What do I do? And how do I go back to my office? Do I put in the appliances? How do I get started on that? And how do I present it to the client? What's my first presentation going to look like to my client? What do I include? So that's kitchen and bathroom design processes. Then after that, it's going to be the cabinet construction standards. And if you haven't taken that course, it's a really great course to give you a foundation of the differences between framed and frameless and what makes it good construction versus bad construction. Or less expensive construction. Then we're going to talk about the lighting design, surfaces and appliances, and the final documentation. So those are my core courses coming up. So we have December 4th and then I think December 11th. And then what's the dates? December 4th, 11th, and the 18th. Why didn't I add it? It's cabinet construction standards. Then we have Christmas and New Year. And the next course is going to be the final document processes on January 8th. And then the following one is going to be the 13th and the 14th, which is a Monday and a Tuesday, which will be the lighting design courses. So those are all open for registration. The courses have started. If you still want to register for tomorrow, there's time to register at AllisonSolar.com or www.kbdacademy.com, all one word, and you can register there. Then I'm going to be doing a couple of little mini webinars. I want to do one. I have something on construction standards. I really thought that that would be a fun one, not construction standards, graphic standards, drafting standards to figure out, how to read blueprints, how to understand, to put in a door, to put in a window, the differences between construction lines and, remove the wall and all those kinds of things, new walls, old walls, and the symbols for drafting. And it's not about a drafting program. I'm not sitting there and going to show you how to use 2020. I'm not going to do that. It's just basically drafting. And if you have any kind of drafting program or old-fashioned pencil and paper, you can draft, okay? And a T-square and a triangle and a drafting board, that's all you need. So it's the basics of drafting, like how to read documents and understand documents for blueprints. So that's going to be the Kitchen and Bathroom Design Academy courses. Now, I will be developing some smaller courses, some other courses, because I want to add to these programs as the time goes on. And I have some advanced designers in my Facebook group that I would like to teach some more advanced things to, and that will come. So anyhow, and time just keeps going by so fast, doesn't it, people? I can't even believe we're in November. What is it, the 18th today? The 19th. We're at November 19th, and next week is Thanksgiving. And before that, you know what? It's going to be Christmas, and then it's going to be New Year's, and then we're going to be saying it's 2025 and saying, how the heck did that happen? Holy mackerel, Andy. So teaching is something that I love to do, and I also feel there is a need for education in this kitchen and bath industry. Just gave me an idea on my next course should be about how to manipulate the cabinets, modify cabinets, and develop crown molding and add finished sides and integrated sides. Oh, that could be a really good course. Because you know why? I learned a lot of that by going to the to the manufacturer's um, factory. Took a couple of education courses at the factories, and those were really good. And they were hands on and told you like how they apply a finished end and different types of finished ends, and really getting into the nuances of cabinetry. Yeah, I should do that. Sounds like a course. So anyway, teaching and learning about cabinetry and kitchen design and bathroom design, very important if you're an interior designer to get that education. And if you haven't gone to school for interior design and you're just naturally really talented and you have a knack for design, you still need to know the nuances and technicalities of the industry. So that's what I am teaching you, and I hope everybody out there signs up for my courses. So again, tomorrow is bathroom design guidelines. Keep an eye out for that if you want to register. And it starts at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, my time. All right, guys, have a great day.